Good morning from day 3 on the PCT. I'm waking up at the Lake Marina Campground, and we had amazing trail magic last night. Woo! Made it to Lake Marina. Hosted by some former PCT hikers and some people that are friends with them, and today I'm headed out on my own, but at least I know the names and faces of some other people that are out on the trail with me. Got freshly cleaned and showered here at the campground, which is always a nice feeling, but I did put on dirty clothes. Today is the start of a 3,000 foot climb up to Mount Laguna. I don't anticipate that I'll make it into the town of Mount Laguna today. That's not my plan, but we'll see how it all goes. So starting out to a beautiful day.
Yeah. We're night hiking. Why are you wearing sunglasses?
Hold my hand till the sun goes down. Take a chance, feel it all right now. Be my wild heart. We be dancing the pouring rain. Don't really care about what they say. You're my wild heart. You and I, we're meant to shine through the dark like shooting stars across the sky.
That's where we're going.
Take my hand, we'll be alright. Be my wild, wild heart. As the days keep passing by, I keep falling in your eyes. Be my wild heart. Wanna run through the great unknown, where the ocean meets the sky. Be my wild heart.
We're going to do a little talk and walk right now. I am walking parallel to a road, so if you hear car noise, I am close to a road. But I wanted to, in this video, of course, take you along with the journey over the next couple of days, but also introduce some of you that may know me, but may not be familiar with the Pacific Crest Trail, with a little bit about what the culture and community of the Pacific Crest Trail is like. I'll introduce you to some terms and kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what life out here is like and what it'll be like for me for the next 5 months. This morning I woke up at the Lake Marina Campground, and I actually stayed there at a site that was booked out by some trail angels. I may have mentioned this in my previous video, but trail angels are people who, out of acts of kindness, their own, want to encourage hikers and pay it forward, maybe because they're a previous hiker, whatever the reason, they do things to support hikers, whether that's giving them into a ride into town from trail for resupplies, or giving them a ride back to the trail, or, feeding them, putting a cooler out along the trail somewhere, water caches, all sorts of things like that. There are many different ways, and those acts that they perform are called trail magic. All right, I'm headed into Boulder Oaks Campground where I'm going to stop and take a break. I plan to stop every 4 miles or less, I guess. But they have some nice accommodations, a bathroom, a couple picnic tables, places to hang out, and some shade here. Pioneer Mail, which is your safe zone. Technically, it's not. They have not, so I'm going to assume that it's not. It may be, and they just. And I'm off. So I stopped at this campground, this Boulder Oaks campground yesterday for my lunch break. And I elevated my feet and I was just resting for a few minutes. And then the lovely camp host, Tammy here, who's so knowledgeable about the PCT, particularly in this area, and all the ins and outs and everything. She saw how I was moving around and suggested that I stay the night. And you know what? She was right. So yes, I only did 6 miles yesterday instead of my planned 10 or 12. I forget what the plan was. But that's okay, because this stretch that I'm going into now is the stretch where, gotta watch for the trail, is the stretch where people start leaving because of injuries. And so I was able to rest and edit the first vlog in this series, which was my first full-length video that I've ever edited on just my phone. So it was nice that I had some time to do that. Anyway, just got back on trail right here, and I'm gonna I guess walk along this road for a little bit, and then I go under Interstate 8 and we're climbing today. That is the Interstate 8, and we are climbing up over here, and you should be able to see the trail that cut right over there. Right, I am almost 2 miles in now, I think, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about trail blazes. So the PCT logo is referred to as a trail blaze, and there are different colors of blazes that mean different things. They are actually colors. I don't know why I did this. So white blaze comes from the AT, because on the trees there in the AT, they actually will just have a white painted stripe to indicate the trail marking. There's also a logo for the AT as well. But anyway, the name has carried over to the PCT, and what that means is that is the true trail, and it's really just referring to the trail. There are also things called blue blazes, which denote alternate or side quests, like summiting a nearby peak, and depending on kind of the purist mindset of the hiker, some might decide to stick only to white blazes or deviate to blue blazes to really round out the experience. There's also yellow blazing. Yellow blazing means that a hiker is hitchhiking. And I think it might mean slack packing too, but I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments. I genuinely don't know. But if you don't know what slack packing is like backpacking, but slacking off a little bit, meaning somebody else is moving your stuff for you. So you essentially are carrying the weight of a day hiker and not a full backpack, which makes a substantial difference, especially in climbs like this. I know there's pink blazing. Pink blazing is when you follow a crush on trail. I think I've heard of green blazing, which is like just a build your own adventure kind of thing. And I think that's it. I don't know. There might be others. If I'm missing any, drop it in the comments so everybody can learn. I have no idea what kind of blazing it could be when I do those walk-by shots, but we should pick a color for that. What's like the dumbest color? Feeling warm, so I'm doing a pack explosion so that I can grab my sun hat and change into some shorts, which happen to be the very bottom of my pack. There's also a little bit of trail terminology for what happened to me at that campground yesterday, where I ended up staying longer than I expected, and that is called getting sucked into the vortex. It'll happen to hikers when they go through certain trail towns and situations where they just end up staying longer than anticipated. It can be pretty expensive to get sucked into a vortex of a trail town, and some hikers don't make it out, but that's another thing that we say out here. Okay, I'm back on trail. Time to put the camera away and focus on making some miles, because I do need to make it into town tomorrow in order to resupply. I will be out of food if I don't get into town pretty early tomorrow. Yes, please. Amazing. Amazing. I messed up and I missed the cutoff for the trail that goes down to, that's called Kitchen Creek, where the creek is. So I'm just taking a break somewhere else instead. Mount Laguna, is that you? Stopping for a snack break. Feeling pretty well dialed in with my food, and my body is feeling really good today. I'm totally satisfied with the decision to take a shorter day yesterday and just rest and recover, because today has been significantly more enjoyable than it would have otherwise. So I think I can see Mount Laguna now, but I'm not getting up to Mount Laguna today. I have about 3.2 miles. So actually, I was thinking as I'm sitting here eating my snacks, I wanted to tell you about another kind of quirk of the trail, and that is trail names. So if a person wants, they can be assigned a trail name, and typically what happens is other people around them, friends or family members that they might be hiking with, or just other people they meet on trail, or someone that's in their tramily, which is a trail family. So it's not necessarily somebody that people that you knew before you started the trail, but it's people that you start hiking with and or camping with, and they become a trail family. So the option is to be assigned a trail name. And earlier this morning, a guy at camp from Germany showed me his food bag because I showed him mine. I'm like, oh, I'm just about out of food, exactly how I want it to be because I am resupplying tomorrow. Obviously, I don't want to carry a bunch of extra food up this 3,000-foot climb because it's heavy. And he's like, that's your food bag? And then he's like, let me show you my food bag. His food bag, at that point, 2 days in, he had probably, I don't know, somewhere between 15 and 20 pounds of food. Still, he's like trying to give it away. So the proposed trail name for him, and I don't know if he's going to accept it. He hasn't yet, but it's Aldi because that's the name of a German grocery store. And this guy had so much food, he could be a grocery store. This hat is annoying me. Okay, that's all for now. All right, I'm 11 miles deep for the day. Feeling pretty tired, but my body has done really well. It's been a good day. I know part of my low energy right now, or a lot of it, can be attributed to just not eating enough and not taking enough breaks, which is against my rules. But it's been kind of hard because there are these biting flies. So every time I stop, the flies just start swarming and biting, and it's quite painful. So it's an incentive to not stop. But I feel like my pace would actually be faster had I actually taken breaks. Anyway, I'm within a mile of camp now. Moved into this canyon area. It's beautiful, and I'm very much looking forward to making camp. I found a campsite that I like, but I'm gonna go back to it. I actually carried on down the trail and then saw not far from it a place I could access water, which is critical. So now I just have to carry this water back, 2 liters for filtering and drinking, and then this because I want to be able to clean some stuff, and I'm gonna need to drink all this water, and I don't want to come back tonight. This is where it gets really precarious because I have to navigate carrying these heavy things and my trekking poles. And of course I'm filming because I'm dumb. And well, these branches are pokey and thorny, so I hope it doesn't puncture my bag. Getting there. Hi, this is camp for tonight. Trail is right there. There's also adjacent campsites. Ooh, I just fell in a little bit of a hole. Ant colony, probably. But this one seems a little bit more private. Plus, there's the shade for right now, which will be nice until it's freezing tonight. And I think the flattest part is for me to set up like right along here. So I'll do that with my door facing this way, so I'll have maximum privacy. But first, there's a little caterpillar here in my spot, so I'm gonna just borrow him. I think it might be dead. I'm working on dinner right now. It is bean and beef and cheese burrito. It's a pretty small portion. I'm not feeling hungry. I think it's because it was so hot today. Also because I wasn't eating properly throughout the day. I think when I do that, it suppresses my hunger a bit. But I am going to force myself to eat half a portion, and then hopefully that will make me feel hungry so I can eat the rest. It's not a huge deal if I don't eat all of my snacks every day, but my breakfast and dinner have my bulk of my protein, and so I want to be able to get that in. So it's going to be this mush wrapped in a tortilla, of course. Good morning. Now that I've left camp, I can talk to you, but just briefly because I've got about 3.2, like 5K left to Mount Laguna, and I'm looking forward to just getting that done this morning while it's still feeling cool. I'm gonna grab some breakfast at the cafe. I've heard really good things about the cafe there, and I gotta pick up my resupply box. I don't know what the plan is for the rest of the day, but I'll catch you when I'm up the mountain. Well, the cafe is closed. That sucks. I'm hungry. I do have some food that I can eat. The post office will open at noon. It's currently 9:30 a.m. Google says that the restaurant is open. Far Out Guide says that the restaurant should be open, but it's a small business. And it's understandable that sometimes small businesses have to alter their hours. I'm a little disappointed, but I guess it's saving me some money. And yeah, I'm just gonna have to hang out until noon, until I can pick up my resupply package and start hiking on from there. Yeah. Alrighty. Resupply box acquired. Packed up, just hanging out at the general store on the porch there with the other hiker trash, as we're called. But I'm gonna head out and do some miles for the rest of the day. However, I'm gonna end this video here, and I'll pick you up on the next one. Thanks for watching, and take care. Happy trails.